All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hold on. Let me go here. Let me go here. Good afternoon. Good people. And I'm getting all these adjustments right. Erica. Good afternoon, Erica. Let me pop that out so we can go there, go there, go there. All right. Good afternoon. I don't know if you can hear me. Hold on, let me check and make sure. Uh yeah, audio seems to be okay. Good afternoon, good people. Good afternoon. Um Hold on, let me move into the right position here. Good afternoon. Back here. And then we go here. And we close that and we go there. Tria Butler Brown. Good afternoon. I got a few things that I want to discuss today. Just a few things. It's good to be back. I'm always contemplating, am I going back today? Am I going back? Am I going to do it today? But I figure I didn't have anything pressing going on. So I want to come on and I want to talk to the people. I want to come on and talk to the people. I want to hear what you think. Let's see. Erica, and I don't know what the man, oh man. That just sounds weird to say that as your name. Man, oh man. That's why I just say man. Um Antonio. Um Good afternoon, Daryl. Good afternoon, Nikki. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, let me start out first by saying, Renita, good afternoon. Let me start out by saying they passed this lynching being a hate crime bill, and 3 Republicans voted against it. And I know somebody will say that's not necessarily enough for me to say, thank you, Tria. That's not necessarily enough for me to say that David, good afternoon. For me to say that they're a hate group just based on that. Somebody, which three? Wait a minute, I got it up here. Which 3? Oh, come on. Chip Roy of Texas, Andrew Clyde of Georgia, and Thomas Massey of Kentucky. These were the ones who said no. They said no. Now, Thomas Massey explained his no. He said his no, the Constitution specifies only a handful of federal crimes and leaves the rest to individual states to prosecute. This bill expands current federal hate crimes laws. He said a crime is a crime, and all victims deserve equal justice. Adding enhanced penalties for hate tends to endanger other liberties, such as freedom of speech. He goes on, lynching a person is already illegal in every state. Passing this legislation falsely implies that lynching someone does not already constitute criminal activity. He also said that the bill creates another federal crime for conspiracy, which, of course, he's concerned that could be enforced over broadly on people. So he's concerned. What do you have to be doing? What kind of life do you have to be living to be concerned that you somehow gonna accidentally get caught up in a lynching crime as a part of a conspiracy? What does your concern, like, how does that even work? I'm not concerned about it. I don't ever think, I don't ever think that there's ever going to be a situation where I'm gonna be just sitting around minding my own business and they're gonna come and arrest me and be like, you were involved in this conspiracy to lynch somebody. What do you have to be doing to be concerned that you are gonna be caught up in a conspiracy to lynch somebody, thus be against making lynching a hate crime? I don't understand. I really don't. Yeah. Why y'all asking about the studio behind me? Look, I got a team of people. I got a team of people back there working, making this thing happen, making it look good. Don't be concerned about my team. Okay. Let my team do what they do. Let my team do what they do in peace. Okay. But I don't understand why these people, Massey and others, would be concerned. I honestly thought I was watching it. I was watching C-SPAN. I was watching the vote. I was watching the vote, and it was like all yays, all yays. I was like, all right, all right. And then out of nowhere, I saw that, I walked away for a second, come back, and I saw that 3. And I was like, who are the people who are saying, lynching is all right? Lynching is all right. Because if that's what you're saying, if you're voting no to that, they're not on break. They just move out of the shot. My people are not on break. They move when I go live. They move out of the shot because they know what's up. But yeah, it just sounds crazy to me. And yeah, Brent, we gotta see exactly what's gonna happen when it goes to the Senate. We gotta see what's gonna happen when it goes to the Senate. Jerika says, hola. It's Jerica. But yes, hola, hola. I live in a country where we pronounce the H's. Is that racist? But yeah, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen when they finally decide that they're gonna go to the Senate and see, will they get a unanimous vote in the Senate? But who says no? Who says no? No. I didn't have the staff. I didn't have the staff then, Glenn. Did not have the staff. No PPP money for me. Even though I still don't like you hating on Miss Prather. Stop hating on Miss Prather. I was about to give out the number. But yeah, I'm watching it. I see the 3 Republicans vote no. I thought, who does this? Why? But then it hit me. They're Republicans. They're Republicans. And there is a wing of the party. I'm softening my stance a little bit. There's a wing of the party that's definitely a hate group. There's a wing of the party that supports white nationalists, which is just racist. This is white supremacist, racist. There's a wing of the party that supports hate crimes. And how can you be in a party that supports hate crimes and white nationalists, especially as a black person? Because there was some conversation about the black people who are no, it's not the Omarion. The Omarion don't got me. I don't know what I did with my water, so my throat is all dry. So forgive me for that. But too many fat women on the Conservative Party. What? Let's see. He says they aren't hate groups. They just don't understand why lynching is against the law. And look, I get what he's saying. Crime is crime. But that's one of those things where The people who typically say stuff like crime is crime, they're not really concerned about being a victim of a crime, in particular, a hate crime. Yes, technically speaking, crime is crime. I guess you can't argue with that. There's a certain simple logic that goes into that. Crime is crime. But come on. Some crimes, that's the reason why every crime is not treated the same. You don't get the same for stealing a bag of potato chips out of the store as you do for going in robbing a bank, as you do for, slaughtering people. Crime is crime, but there are different levels of crime. And we assign some, I'm going to say value, even though I don't know if value is the right word, but we assign some level of value to the reason for the crime. We consider all of those mitigating circumstances. We consider all of that stuff. And we consider, I've heard it in court where they talk about why. Why did this person commit this crime? And they take that into account when they're sentencing someone. If you're stealing to eat, there's a good chance you're going to get a lesser sentence than somebody that's just doing it for fun. You needed it. They might give you time served and maybe a fine and then some services, which I know is a sore topic with some people, but they might give you that. But the mindset matters. Why did you do it? So if it matters to make the punishment less, it makes sense that it would matter sometimes to make the punishment more. He did it because he don't like black people. You can't just kill people because you don't like the race of a person. You can't do that. Well, I mean, you can. People do it. But that's not good. That's not good. Why y'all hating on my set? Those are good people back there. It's a good set. And leave them alone. Leave my equipment alone too. But that was that. I had that. I saw that, and I said, I don't know why it bothered me because I kind of expected it. Honestly, I guess I should give the Republican Party a little bit of credit because I thought it might be a party line vote. I did. I thought it might be a party line vote, but the fact that it wasn't meant something. Thank you, Oakdale Woods. I thought it was, but it wasn't. And so maybe they get credit for that. Phone line yet? No, I don't have a phone line yet. I didn't even look into it. I will. I'll look into it after the show today. And I'm not promising a phone line tomorrow. But after the show today, I'll look into it. How about that? I'm in the control room. Then my staff, they cleared out. Somebody back there walking around. I see his shadow every once in a while. I don't know who it is. I think it might be I don't want to call him out. But I'll check into the phone line. Also, I'm looking at this story, and I didn't want to talk about it, but then I was reading the story, and sometimes some black people just make me mad. And so I had to talk about it. I don't know if you guys saw this story. I'm sure you did. A black woman says she was forced to give up her seat to two white women on a Delta flight. This is from the Grill. Two women reportedly complained to flight attendants for over an hour before the black woman was asked to move back. Apparently, these women bought first class seats They couldn't get first class tickets. So they had to sit next to this young lady who had bought her seats and row 15 by the window. But these two women complained that they didn't have enough room to move. They said they didn't have enough room to move. And they complained for like an hour until finally the flight attendant comes up. They ask her, is she flying by herself? She says yes. And then they say, there's a seat back there in aisle 34. It's an aisle seat. They asked her to move to that seat. They asked her to get up from her seat and move to this seat, the last row of the plane, because these two white women felt like they didn't have enough room. I need some more room. I need some more room. Now, okay, why am I mad at this lady? Why am I mad at the lady? Because I'm mad at the lady who was asked to move. I'm mad at the lady who was asked to move. Before I do that, I'm mad at Delta too. I'm mad at Delta. But here's why I'm mad at the lady. The lady says, instead of standing her ground and refusing to give up the seat. Now, I'm not mad at that. Some people got it, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Some people are like, H, no, you're not pushing me around, blah, blah, blah. Other people are like, I don't want to cause no more trouble than I have to cause. So I'll just do, take the path of least resistance. I understand both of those. Not mad at her for that. Here's why I'm mad at her. When she was questioned about it, this is her response. I don't want to make it a race thing. But instead of asking the two white women that were seated next to me to move in an attempt to accommodate them, they basically made me have to move. I just don't know why I had to move, because that was the seat I paid for. That was my assigned seat. And I'm walking back there and it's just humiliating. It's like having the entire flight look at you thinking, what's going on? Now, after the flight, she went to file a complaint with customer service, but she was told that the matter was out of her hands. She says that the customer service representative seemed a bit perplexed about the motive behind her complaint. So they asked her, how were you humiliated for them to ask you to go to another seat? But it's people like her that's part of the problem. What do you mean you don't want to? This one line, I don't want to make it a race thing. Then tell me, what do you think it was? What do you think it was? I mean, if you look, Timothy, I'm not saying that she should have done anything differently. I would have, but I'm not saying that she should have. But to say, I don't want to make it a race thing, then what is it? You're giving them out. And then you're perplexed when you go to complain and the person says, well, what are you complaining about? Because if it's not a race thing, then yeah, what are you complaining about? What are you complaining about? You're complaining because they asked you to move to another seat and you complied. They didn't tell you you had to move to another seat. They asked you. Again, if it's not a race thing. If it's not a race thing. Now, of course, it's a race thing. But when you give them that out, now you don't want to claim it's a race thing, but you don't understand why they don't understand. Because we got to say this stuff is what it is. We got to say a thing is a thing. If you discriminate against me based on my race, or if you call me out and tell me to move my seat based on my race, you got to say, nah, this was some racial stuff. This was some racial stuff. But when you come out, because this is post move, this is post complaint, and the first thing quoted is, I don't want to make this a race thing. I promise, for all that's in me, I don't understand people like that. I don't understand it. I don't hate them, but they sure as hell get on my nerves because y'all make it more difficult for everybody who's dealing with this. She's probably one who uses the term, I didn't want to play the race card. It's not a game, it's not a card. And if we don't make race things, again, in my mind, that's what she told that customer service representative that she went to complain to. That's what she told her or him. She said, this is just in my mind. I'm not saying with 100% certainty that this is what she said. In my mind, she said, hey, I don't want to make this a race thing because it wasn't about race. But I felt really humiliated when they asked me to move to the back of the plane. I I had a ticket that I paid for, and then the representative said, interesting. They asked you to move? And she said, yes, yes, they asked me to move. And you just got up and moved? You didn't protest or anything? And she said, no, no, no. When they asked me to move, I just got up and moved. But as I was walking to the back, I was humiliated. And then the representative said, but why were you humiliated? I don't understand what's happening. You don't believe it was about race? No, no, no. I don't believe it was about race. You believe it was about the comfort of passengers? Yes, yes, yes. And they asked you to move. But why didn't they ask them to move? Well, but when they asked you to move, see, it was one of you and it was two of them. They knew that there was one seat available. They would have had to find other seats from there. That's why they asked you if you were flying alone. And then they asked you if you'd be willing to move. And you said yes. You could have said no, right? Well, I could have said no, but the whole thing was humiliating. Why? It was humiliating. Why? Because you've taken what is actually the humiliating part about it off the table when you told them it wasn't about race. You can't be Rosa Parks now. They made you move to the back of the plane. You can't be Rosa Parks because we know that was about race. So who are you? Who are you? You're just some lady who gave up your seat and moved for the comfort of other people. Please, please stop acting like y'all don't see color. You know what I'm saying? Stop acting like you don't see color. Everybody sees color. Well, I guess unless they're colorblind. But even colorblind people, look, you show me a black and white TV, no color. I can tell you who the black people are and who the white people are. On a black and white TV, I don't see color. She had to think about it. What did she have to think about, Timothy? She is still saying she doesn't believe race was a factor. Were there other people on the plane, other black people on the plane who were asked to move? Probably not. Why would they be? I don't even understand that question. I don't understand that question. Oh, okay. I see who it's from though now. All right. Okay. All right. But I don't she had to think, what did she have to think about? She had to think about the fact that she didn't want to move. That's what she had to think about. She knows it's a race thing. And I just don't understand. Is Dave Stinger working for me now? I just don't understand why some of these people won't acknowledge that. That's the offensive part to me. Just acknowledge it. Acknowledge it's a racial thing and that y'all might have a racial issue in terms of how y'all deal with people. But yeah, somebody brought it up. The Central Park bird watching dude, who I got issues with him anyway because he bird watching. There's nothing wrong with bird watching, but I'm just saying. Um, when we make all of these concessions, when we keep making concessions for bad racial behavior and pass it off as anything else, that's the whole, well, crime is crime. Well, bad customer service is bad customer service. Didn't matter if I was black. It didn't matter if I was white. It was just bad customer service. No, I almost said the B word. No, young lady, they did that because you was black and you allowed it. That lady contributes to the problems black people face fighting for equality and justice when we give in to white privilege. I don't want to make this a race thing. Let me ponder. What else could it be? Why would you feel humiliated? Because I try to put myself in that situation, right? I'm on the plane, minding my business, got my little seatbelt on, strapped in tight. Oh, I'm flying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm relaxing now. I got to turn on the little thing because I need air blowing down. I get motion sick. It's an issue. I get motion sick. So I got the little air blowing down. It's got to blow directly like in my nose and mouth area. All right. I'm relaxing. And these two white chicks is over here elbowing me and shit. Get off me. That's what I'm thinking. Get off me. But, I kind of scrunch over a little more into my seat. I'm pressed all up against the wall. But I'm being accommodating. And they complaining. No, I saw a picture of her, and she's not. I mean, I'm not against, but she's not a bigger woman. She's not a bigger woman, so it wasn't a weight issue. It wasn't a weight issue. Ashley, stop making excuses. But so I'm sitting there, they getting on my nerves, and then the flight attendant like, "Are you flying by yourself?" I'm like, "Me? Yeah, I'm by myself. We got an open seat in aisle 34, and it's an aisle seat. That's good to know. Well, would you mind moving back there? Why? Because these two bitches acting crazy? No. Make one of them move back there, move the other one over one seat away, then everybody will be comfortable. Well, but I mean, they're flying together, so we would like to keep them together. Well, then make two people move out of first class, put one of them in 34, put the other one in that seat, and everybody will be good. Well, I mean, we don't want to do that. That would be inconveniencing a whole lot of people. Oh, but you just want to inconvenience me. See what I'm saying? There is no, I'm not moving, number one. And I'm going to ask, hold on, wait, just so I'm clear. You trying to move me to the back of the plane? Is this because I'm black? What? Is this a Rosa Parks thing going on? Get to the back because the white people don't want you. They might have threw me off the plane because I would have shown up. I'd have ended up singing "We Shall Overcome" right there on the plane. The time is long past where black people had to give up their seats for some white person to be comfortable on methods of transportation. Didn't we overcome that? Didn't Dr. King and Rosa Parks fight? Is that what Delta is all about? Is that what next thing you know, I'd have been singing "We Shall Overcome." Everybody been on the plane like, look at this fool. I'd have been. They are trying to make me move. Hey, Everybody, hey, they trying to make me move because I'm black. Because these two white women don't want to sit next to a black woman. They trying to make me move. Are y'all going to stand with anybody? Put them fists up in there. Anybody? Anybody? Are you with me? I'm telling you, I'm telling you, that's what, and then it's not a race thing. Man, sir, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Hold on, you asking me to move a black, well, I gotta be a woman, a black woman to move to the back of the plane for the comfort of some white people. What is going on? Man, I'm telling you, I would have been. Next thing you know, yeah, I'd have been up there singing with I'd have found some black people and locked wrists with them, and we'd have started singing. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. They'd have been like, what is going on? Ain't nowhere in the world. Ain't nowhere in the world. And then giving an interview. I don't want to make it a race thing. My interview would have been, this is a call to action. This is a call to action. But in any other media, come on, everybody gather around. Everybody gather around. Let me tell you what they did. I don't want to make this a race issue. People like that just irritate the heck out of me. People like that just irritate the heck out of me. We was already in the air when this happened. This was an hour into the flight. This was an hour into the flight. They not moving me to the back of the plane because look, Wyatt, if there was some legit reason why I needed to move, all right, cool. If it was a legit reason why I needed to move, cool. There was no legit reason. This was just two people mad because they were sitting next to me and they thought they was going to be in first class. So look, I'm saying if it's a legit reason, I ain't got no problem with moving. I've actually moved on a plane before. They said, these three people, this is a for real situation, and I didn't have no problem with it. And that's why I'm not saying it was a race thing. I was seated in a row by myself. And they had gotten seats that were not together. Like two was here and one was somewhere else. Two was next to me and one was somewhere else. And they asked, I guess the flight attendant, if the flight attendant would ask me if I would switch seats. And the flight attendant, very politely, sir, these three, explain the situation, these three people, and their seats aren't together and you're by yourself, would you mind switching seats? No, I ain't got no problem, cool. And they sat together and I sat next to somebody else. That was cool. In my mind, that was legit. But if those two would have just sat there and been complaining, oh, I ain't got no room. Oh, I ain't got no this. Oh, why and I was supposed to have a first class seat, but I ain't got a first class seat, and now I got to sit next to. Sir, they don't feel comfortable with you, and there's a seat, and will you move back? Hell no, I ain't moving. Move them. If the two white women was overweight, then they should have moved them. They should have moved one of the two white women. But if I'm not complaining about sitting next to two overweight people, because I got no beef with overweight people. Overweight people ain't never did nothing to me. I ain't got no beef with overweight people. I- no, no. They did it because the women complained for an hour, at least according to the story. But again, if you don't want to make it a race thing, if it because that's what she said, I don't want to make it a race thing. Then what are you complaining about? She complaining because she felt like it was a race thing. But we've been taught kind of by all these subliminal messages in society. We've been taught that you really can't complain about race. If you complain about race, if you complain about race, you are part of the problem. Subliminally, we've been taught that. So if it was a weight thing, which y'all keep suggesting, then what is she complaining about? What does this woman want Delta to do? I mean, if that's the case, I'm with Delta. We asked you to move. You got up and you moved. What were you humiliated about? You wasn't the overweight one. You weren't the problem. Second thoughts. Then just keep your mouth shut. You moved. Second thoughts about what? What were the second thoughts about? Because she's still saying it's not a race thing. See, that's what I keep in mind. Whatever you thinking, she is still saying today that it's not a race thing. So again, if it's not a race thing, what's the complaint? The complaint is that that was racist. That's the complaint. You know that was racist. Black Wolf Fish says complaining about racism and coming up with valid evidence to prove the racism claims are two different things. I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with people complaining about racism if they can't produce some valid evidence. Some racism can masquerade under the guise of something else. People commit acts of racism when they feel like they can get away with it. And, just how like you could shade somebody, they call it. You can shade somebody. And because I've done it before once or twice. And then when people be like, oh, that was shade. And you be like, no, it wasn't. I was just stating the simple fact that that person looks like they weigh 312 pounds. There was no malice in my heart. Where is your evidence and proof that there was malice in my heart? You can't always prove this stuff. You can't always prove it. So what? If I can't prove it, I act like it don't exist. That's a lot of people really do have that mentality. If I can't prove it, then I got to act like it don't exist or not say anything about it. I ain't with that. I ain't with that even a little bit. I ain't got to be able to prove it. I just got to know it and feel it. So yeah, no, I'm not with you on that. Even though I'm usually not with you on most of the stuff that you say, because it don't be making no sense, Blackwell Fish. The sister realized she missed a payday. Maybe her kids woke her up to the new hustle. No, she went immediately When the plane landed, she went to customer service and complained immediately. She was humiliated walking to the back of the plane. Again, she wasn't I don't get humiliated because it's some fat people here. Excuse my language for my overweight people, but y'all know what I'm saying. I don't get humiliated because he fat. She was humiliated because she knew what was up. Hey, Janice. That's why. And she immediately went and complained, which is cool. But then she gave him that out. And now, we got all kind of excuses for it. It wasn't racism. It was a weight issue. It wasn't racism. She just a hustler. It wasn't racism. That happens all the time. It wasn't racism. That's it. I'm just that. It was racism. Other than that, there's this retired conservative judge. And I have to admit, I was a little out of the loop because y'all don't understand. I was working really hard on a project that I did finish like right under the deadline. Right under the deadline, I got it finished. Like if I would have came on Friday, that project would not have been finished. And when I say right under the deadline, like I finished everything, rendering and all of that kind of stuff and delivering 5 minutes before the deadline. 5 minutes. I don't like pushing stuff that close. But so I missed some stuff. So I did miss the announcement of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. I missed the announcement. So I am overjoyed. I am exceptionally happy. It makes me feel good because I really believe she's going to be the next Supreme Court justice. There's no reason for her not to be. And but there's this retired conservative judge. He's telling Republicans that they should vote for her. But he says she is definitely qualified. But he's telling Republicans they should vote for her out of political calculation. Like if you can't bring yourself to vote for her because she's supremely qualified, vote for her out of political calculation. Let me guess. That wouldn't be a race thing either, right? Because if they said it's a white judge, it's a white judge who's supremely qualified. But if you can't vote for this supremely qualified individual with everything that we look for in a Supreme Court justice, if you can't vote for this person based on that, do it out of political calculation. When you ever heard that about a white man? When you ever heard that about a white man? I never heard him say that about a white man. They voted for a dude that's accused of rape. That wasn't out of political calculation because they felt like he was qualified. Don says he just joined and it's I'm gonna guess he mean too much going on in the background. Look, I'm in my studio now. Don't complain about my studio. I got a staff of hardworking people, and they back there. They monitoring the news. They gonna keep me abreast of what's going on in Ukraine. So just don't complain about them. Don't complain. The GOP act like once Ketanji gets confirmed, they still won't have a 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court. But that's where racism rears its ugly head. I mean, it's crazy that you gotta try to convince people to vote for somebody that you even and he says the reason that they can do it is because they'll always be able to say, hey, look, we put that black woman on the Supreme Court. Let me see. He says, indeed, she is highly credentialed and experienced in the law as as experienced as any nominee in history. Having graduated from Harvard Law School with honors, clerked at the Supreme Court, and served as a federal judge for almost a decade. So he's saying, yeah, Republicans, he then goes on, Republicans should vote to confirm Judge Jackson out of political calculation, even if they cannot bring themselves to confirm her out of political magnanimity. And then proudly take credit, deserved credit, for their part in elevating the first black female jurist to the Supreme Court of the United States. And y'all know they will. Y'all know they will. Uh, they still at lunch. No, they not at lunch. The staff moves, so they ain't in the shot. They working. They working. Don't worry about my damn staff. But let me guess. That's not because of race either, right? Sometimes black people work harder to prove that racism don't exist than white people. And again, I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I mean, does it like, and I'm asking, this is legitimately, I'm asking, does it make you feel better about you to kind of deny that racism exists in all of this stuff? Yeah. You reading some big ass words. Don't hate. Don't hate Wyatt. Um, why? Why do we work that hard to disprove racism? I don't understand it. I don't understand how it makes you feel better to pretend that racist stuff ain't racist. Is it one of those things where you're like, we got to let some racist stuff go so that we can really make a claim on the big racist stuff? Because I think the opposite. I think we got to talk about all the little racist stuff to prevent the big racist stuff. Like, I'm not people act like it's the boy who cried wolf. But if the boy who cried wolf was actually seeing, a wolf, and people was like, well, don't complain about it unless you see a whole pack of wolves. And he's like, hey, it's a wolf out here. And they like, is it a pack of wolves? And he like, no, it's just one. It's kind of a small one. Don't mention it. Why? Why would I not mention it? He gonna keep coming back. And eventually, he gonna bring some friends. So one of these days, if we don't deal with this wolf, it's gonna be a pack of wolves. That's y'all, that's some of y'all, that's y'all mentality. Don't complain about the wolf, especially if it's a small wolf. Only complain about a pack of wolves because people won't take it serious. Man, I'm complaining about what they call them, microaggressions. Complain about all that. Can I touch your hair? Complain about that. Some people, that's not racism. They just have a genuine curiosity because, maybe they don't have black people in their circle. And so when they see you, they're curious about the texture of your hair. That's not racism. Just let them touch it. Let them get it out of their system. Why are you explaining this away? That's some racist shit. Let me touch your hair. That's some racist stuff right there. It's not the big one, man. You see, if we focus on let me touch your hair, if we focus on let me touch your skin, if we focus on little stuff like that, it's going to water down our argument when there's something big. That's in my mind, that's backwards logic, y'all. Backwards logic. I don't like it. It bothers me. I don't understand how you live with yourself having that mentality. Do you not want to get rid of the little stuff? Like, are you cool with the microaggressions as they call them? Are you cool with the, hey, don't raise your voice. You don't have to get all excited. Are you cool with that in the meeting? Like, my voice wasn't even raised. Like, y'all know I've been told that in the meeting. Y'all know I've been told that in the meeting. And I'll be like, what? This is just how I talk. You're going to have to deal with it. And then when they start talking, I was like, hey. I'm sorry. Can you not raise your voice like that? See, now you're just being. Hold on. If I was raising my voice, then you raising your voice. Oh, it's okay to tell me not to raise my voice because I'm black. And so somehow I'm extra aggressive, right? But you can talk however you want to, and it's cool. I have legitimately said that in a meeting. It made the meeting uncomfortable. But I thought the meeting needed to be uncomfortable because I wasn't going to make excuses. You call me out on some, lightweight, thinly veiled racist stuff. And let me guess, black wolf fish. Well, you didn't have any concrete proof to prove that that was racist. No, you're right. I didn't. Just, common sense. Just common sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, we know racism when we run into racism. Oh, here we go. It's the racism show. All right. Let me talk about something else. Ukraine. Y'all know that the people trying to leave Ukraine. But the black people, they won't let them. How did I get back to racism? Because it's everywhere. Who thinks? I'm just being honest. I never even considered when I was thinking about the war and the Russians invading Ukraine, I never considered a racist element to it. Never considered it. Never thought about it. Like, for real, I legit never thought about it. Like, there's going to be some black people trying to get up out of Ukraine, and they going to be treated bad because they black. Let me guess. Hold on. Let me guess for all of y'all. They're not treating them bad because they're black, Emanuel. They're treating them differently because maybe they don't speak the same language. They're not, maybe they're treating them differently because they don't come into contact with enough black people to be comfortable with them. So it's not really racism. It's just a lack of comfortability. I'm trying to come up with my brain don't work like that, so I can't come up with them excuses like y'all do. Just pop them off. Maybe the black people are heavier. Maybe that's what it is. The black Ukrainians or I heard them in particular talking about these students from Sudan. I believe Sudan, Somalia, maybe some African nation. And they were there, college students, and they're trying to flee. And they're having the darndest time fleeing. They get to the spot where people are offering rides. Like, you need a ride to Warsaw? Like, yeah. Come on, get in. You need a ride to Warsaw? Yeah. Hey, I need a ride to Warsaw. I'm not going to Warsaw. I'm sorry. I thought you was just offering rides to Warsaw. Yeah, no, no, no. You must have misunderstood me. I'm not going to Warsaw. Where you going? I'm just gonna chill right here for a little while. I'm gonna chill right here for a little while. Not really going anywhere. But you got a sign that you holding that say free rides to Warsaw. Yeah, to pay no attention to that sign. That was just something I wrote down. Just it's being, all right. If you say you're not going to Warsaw, then some white people come up. You going to Warsaw? Yeah, get in. Hold on. Well, I thought you said you wasn't. Now help me, y'all. Y'all help me understand how that's not racist. Because I know y'all got an excuse. I know y'all. I know y'all got one. And it'll make y'all feel better if y'all go ahead and say it. Why it feel better? Mm, mm. But it seems to do that. But yeah, y'all, I honestly did not think about racism in the war. And then can I tell you, kind of not on a racist level? I watched or I saw clips of part of Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. I saw clips of his speech to the European Union. And, the translator getting choked up, blah, blah, blah. I saw all of that. And okay, that was compelling. It was compelling. And then they gave him a standing ovation. Yay. All right. And if I was him, I'd have been thinking, F your standing ovation, send some troops. What y'all standing ovationing for? I just told y'all people dying. I just told y'all I need y'all help. I just challenged y'all to stand up for another country on this continent against aggression. I just told y'all about children being killed, slaughtered. I just told y'all about my civilian population being terrorized and murdered. And y'all response is to give me a standing ovation? F a standing ovation. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? I was talking to somebody about it, and they were saying they would be like Zelensky. They would be like Zelensky. How he's not fleeing. He's not fleeing. He's staying there, and he probably gonna die. He done already said it. Like, he probably gonna die. Russia's gonna get there. Russia's gonna find him, and they gonna murder him. He probably gonna die. And somebody was saying, how honorable it was for him to stay, and it is. It is. I'm not sure that I would have stayed, though. I'm not sure that I would have stayed. They asked if he needed help getting out. He said, no, I need ammunition. He said he going down with his ship, like the captain of a cruise ship. But I know what you meant. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have wanted. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at the standing ovation. But when they started giving me a standing ovation, I probably would have said, hold on. Don't clap. Vote. Take action. Now. We're dying. Clapping is good. And maybe it make y'all feel good. But I got people dying here. He better stay. What? You would give up on your country and run? Coward? I guess. I'm a coward then. I would be the leader in absentia. I would be like, hey, I'm over here in Poland, leading from a distance. Everybody, get out. Get out if you can. Get out. And hopefully we can come back in with a force and take back over. But if you are in Ukraine, get out. Everybody, if you can leave, leave. That's what I would have been saying. I mean, it's honorable. It's honorable to stay. He, you know, his days are probably numbered. That one captain of a ship was prosecuted for leaving the people on his ship. I would have took prosecution for leaving the country over, sadly, what it looks like might be his fate. They done took out communications now. You know, they say they gonna get them back up, and they might have it. Anybody know if they got communications back up? Anybody? Holler at a brother, let me know when you find out. But they done took communications out. It's a dire situation. Yeah, Quintano, he could lead from afar. That's where I am with it. That's where I am with it. It's a dire situation. I feel bad, and the rest of the world is playing politics. The rest of the world is playing politics. I'm talking to the staff. I'm talking to the staff. They'll let me know. They're monitoring stuff. But I mean, I'm giving him credit too. I give him credit. I give him credit, but I'm just saying I don't know that would be me. I don't know that would be me. Janice has come to the conclusion that everything is racial. Yeah, me too. Me too. I would have left if, and I don't know a way to put it into the proper perspective. But if Russia was invading the United States and they decided to land in northern Kentucky and come across the bridge into Ohio and land in Indiana and they was going to take over Ohio first, I would so be getting out of Ohio. I could tell you DeWine wouldn't stay here. This is my state, and no, DeWine wouldn't stay. Yeah, Aftab wouldn't still be down there. Aftab wouldn't still be down there. This is my city. I'm the leader. No, that wouldn't be the case. I like Alicia Reese, but Alicia wouldn't be down there. Like, they try to come for us. I'm not leaving. I'm not going nowhere. She'd be gone too. She'd be gone too. This is my county. No, she'd be gone. Well, I'll be trying to get to Kentucky, get to Michigan, get to Indiana, get somewhere. And all the leaders would too. And if we giving a speech and the rest of the United States is giving us standing ovations, I would be mad. I would be mad. I wasn't really doing an impression of her. I would have to hear her. If I heard her, then I could copy her vocal inflection and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't trying to do an impression. But I would be mad. Don't give me no standing ovation. F a standing ovation. Send some troops so we can fight. And they tell me the men can't leave. The men are not allowed to leave. Man, that ain't right. That ain't right. It's against the law for me to leave. My life is in danger. Y'all just gonna have to lock me up then. Send me to jail. I don't what if you can catch me. Send me to jail. Y'all got bigger problems worried about me leaving. Y'all need to be trying to find y'all way out. But yeah, it's a dire situation. And the world is playing politics. Well, I don't know. Daryl says if they left, talking about the men, if they left, who gonna fight? The military, NATO, UN, European Union. Everybody pitch in, some troops. Because realistically, that's what should happen. In particular, what the European Union. This is happening in their house. And they should step up and go in and say, no, we're not doing this aggression thing. It's not happening. Not here. And we will stand with Ukraine. And everybody in the European Union sent some troops to get enough troops to mount some sort of a defense, if not counteroffensive. But they got to talk about it for a while. They got to debate it. They got to do resolutions. Then they got to vote on the resolutions. The whole time, people dying. The whole time, people dying. You voting, giving standing ovations. I know I keep bringing up standing ovation, but I was just so offended by the standing ovation because that's not doing anything. The standing ovation is not doing anything. Wyatt says, remind me not to go anywhere with you. If I'm about to get jumped, I'm clearly on my own, I see. No, that's just it. You're not on your own. I mean, unless you just necessarily started some, and I was telling you, like, Wyatt, bruh, just leave that alone. That ain't worth it, man. I ain't got the right shoes on, man. My shoulder hurt. Wyatt, just leave that one alone. Wyatt, leave it alone. It's 17 of them, bro. It's only 2 of us. Just let that one ride for a minute. And you keep Wyatt. Now you might be on your own. Just listen. Listen. I'm just telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. But if it's just some off the wall stuff, we together, we fighting. If you've been wronged and you need some backup and we cool like that, call me. Call me. I'm with you. I'm not going to be giving you a standing ovation. You're not going to be on the phone like, yo, hey, bro, they at my house. I got, it's like 7 of them. Bring some people with you. And I'm going to be like, Wyatt, just take my word for it. You got this, bro. You got this. And you're going to be like, are y'all coming? Bro, you got it. You got it. Bro, they breaking out my windows, man. My kids is in danger. They busting out the, you know what I'm saying? They about to steal the Mercedes and they about to steal the, Wyatt, you got it. You got it, Wyatt. How am I helping you that way? How am I helping you? But yeah, let me tell you, and Black Wolf Fish, you too. if we at your house, and that, look, y'all, I'm just being for real. If we at your house, me, you, the kids, the wife, my grandbaby, and we kicking it. And whoever they are, some people that you done, that you ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing wrong. They done just decided they want your house. And so they busting out windows trying to get in. I'm gonna be like, yo, Wyatt, you got a back door? Are they coming in the back door? Like, no, they all in the front, they on the sides. If we get out the back door, can we get away? And you like, yeah, we could, but I'm staying here, bro. This is my house. I'm like, bro, it's like 85 ends. They all got guns. They all coming up in here and they gonna kill all of us. Me, you, my wife, your wife, the kids, the grandkids. They gonna kill everybody, bro. Let's just head out, gather up some stuff, and then come back and take your house back. No, I'm staying. This is my house. Nobody's gonna run me out of my house. Yeah. They got some stuff for you. And it's a whole lot more of them. And you can't take them out. You need some help. We can get some help. No, I'm staying. I'm staying. This is my house. Wyatt, me, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, and if I can convince them, your wife, your kids, we all leaving. I might not be able to convince them, but we all leaving. And we'll be back with some people to fight. Hopefully you still around when we get back. If that make me a coward, call me a coward. If that make me a coward, call me a coward. The Ukrainian people have a right to defend themselves. They do. They do. I'm not saying they don't have a right to. I'm just saying, all I was saying was that I'm not hating on Zelensky, the president. I'm just saying it looks like he probably not going to make it. And I would have left. I would have left. I would have been like, I'm out, man. I gotta defend this. I come back and take it back. But I can't take it back if I'm dead. Maurice says I'm a coward. All right. Hey. They climbing through the windows. They breaking down doors everywhere, but I got an out. And I know I ain't got no win. Please. I'm out. I come back. Like, I know if I'm gone. I can rally. So they just gave me a standing ovation. You know what I'm saying? They giving me standing ovations. They talking about letting me, but I mean, it's like I said, it's a dire situation. Because you got people voting. Drafting resolutions. You can't ask your citizens to fight and you don't fight with them. I agree. I would not make it illegal for the military. We're going to do what we got to do. But saying that the men can't leave and all that stuff, I don't like that. We just know you running like a punk. And if you run, don't come back. Whatever. If it's you, I ain't coming back. Don't worry about it. Matter of fact, hey, yo, black, why don't you stay, defend the fort? Everybody else, let's go out the back now. Go, 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 go. Black, you got it. Peace. I just saw on MSNBC a mother standing outside of ambulance while they trying to give her 6-year-old daughter CPR because she was hit in a Russian rocket attack. And we being the rest of the world are voting. We are voting. Voting. I mean, think about that. You have the power to move. This is what's wrong with politics, not just in America, but around the world. If he left the country, he would not be able to come back as president. As president, that will look horrible if he left the country. He would be able to come back as president. He would. This dude has no soul. That was not a little girl. It was collateral damage. Bro, they out there throwing makeshift bombs against a high-tech army. They done. Yeah, they throwing Molotov cocktails at tanks. Like, that's not going to do anything. Right, Quintano. It's strategic. It's a strategic retreat. If the people of Ukraine are half as resilient as the Afghans, they can outlast the Russians. They need help. They need help. They need weapons. They need bodies. They need the resolve of the rest of the world. This kind of stuff is not supposed to happen in the world that we live in. It's just not. Our president and vice president got squirreled away. If there's an intruder on the White House property, that's mild compared to missile attacks. The UN and NATO and the international court need to step in. Yes, the world needs to stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Y'all, I told y'all, I don't have a lot of appetite for war. I don't have a lot of appetite for war. But when I was thinking about it, just in the concept of it, I'm like, I don't have no appetite for war. I don't want to see our young men and women dying, and that's all still true. But if the European Union, the UN, NATO, if they all said right now, we are going in there. We are going in there with troops, a heavy troop presence to help defend Ukraine and drive Russia out of Ukraine. I would be on board with that. Because it's one thing thinking about it. It's another thing seeing this carnage on TV. It's another thing seeing this. Yeah, I mean, I was watching and they were showing this convoy. How you got a convoy? Satellite images showing them driving up the highway. When I was watching it, they was like, oh, they 20 minutes outside of Kiev. They 20 minutes out. I'm like, we are watching this stuff in real time. Like, this ain't some old newsreel type stuff. We watching this stuff in real time. Watching buildings get blown up and Putin said if the U.S. attacks Russia, then he would do a cybersecurity attack on the U.S. We got to get ready for it then. We would just have to be ready for it. But the U.S. shouldn't be the primary force. The U.S. shouldn't be the primary force. There's a lot of countries in the European Union. They all have fighting forces. They should all be sending people in now. They should have been doing it when they first knew that an attack was imminent. Send in troops. We here, we got your back. Going back to my house scenario. We at Wyatt's. And hold on. And then you got to talk about January 6th for people who fought for what they believed in. Dictatorship and not democracy. And instead of Ukraine fighting for democracy for themselves, and not be controlled by dictatorship, we are supplying them. Okay, I have to tell you, I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. Please make that clearer and shorter. But we at Wyatt's spot, sitting back chilling, because y'all know he rich. So we sitting back chilling, drinking. I don't know what rich people drink. Mimosas. I don't know. I'm drinking some grape Kool-Aid. And we get word that they coming to take his house. And I'm like, hey, yo, they coming to take Wyatt house, man. Are we all cool with him? And everybody like, yeah, man, we cool with him. He cool. Yeah, he cool people. He cool people. We got him. All right. Everybody. It's going to be like 50 people trying to come in. I need at least 100 people to show up. Then 100 people show up. That'll probably deter those 50 people from coming in. But what would look like we got 100 of us and we like, well, okay, if it get too bad, then we'll come over and we'll help you later on down the line. Once they done already kind of got in, once they done bust out the windows and, they done climbed in and you hold up in your panic room because, rich people always got a panic room. And so you hold up in your panic room, then we'll send 100 people. No, that ain't how you do that. That ain't how you do that. You better not be drinking Kool-Aid. It make men shrinky dinks. Well, I done drank plenty of Kool-Aid in my day, and I'm a short dude. Maybe that's why I'm short, but I'm not short that way. So, E-Man, what days of the week and hours will you be on YouTube? Here's my plan. And I'm saying this with very little knowledge of anything else that's going on, okay? Here's my plan. My plan is Monday through Friday, 1 till 3. Now, that will shift because I still got love for Lincoln. Definitely still got love for Raven. And so I know that there's a little bit of crossover. There's a lot of crossover with the people who watch a lot of this stuff. So I don't want to step on Lincoln's toes. I know some of y'all like F Lincoln's toes. No. And if they get that spot to Raven, I don't want to step on her toes. So my plan is 1 to 3, Monday through Friday, unless something else come up. Like, y'all know I don't get paid for this. I am still unemployed. So I still, I got to do what I got to do. So I'm still unemployed. If work come up, I gotta take work because you ain't gotta eat. I gotta eat. So my plan is 1 to 3 Monday through Friday, unless something come up, and unless they give Raven that spot. Now, if they give Raven that spot and she's on from noon to 3, then I'll be on probably from 3 to 5. From 3 to 5. But that's where I am with it. Somebody said, is Raven on now? I don't think so. I hadn't heard that was going to be the case. If Radio One call you back, will you go? Probably not. But if they was giving me like some actual money and they said you don't have to get that vaccine, I would consider it. But I wouldn't go back under the same circumstances that I left. That's what I'll say. I would not go back under the same circumstances that I left. It's almost like being married. It's almost like being married, and then you get a divorce, and you get a divorce because, I don't know, he or she was cheating. And then they like, come back, come back, come back. You still love them. You still love them, but I'm not going to let you be disrespectful to me in that way. So, you like, would I come back? If I come back, some stuff got to change. Well, no, you can come back. Everything going to be the same. I just don't want, I'm lonely without you. So come back, but you still going to be cheating. Well, yeah, I'm going to still cheat. You still going to talk to me like a piece of ass. Well, yeah, I'm still talk to you like a piece of ass. You still ain't going to cook? No, I ain't going to cook. You ain't going to clean? I ain't going to clean. Ain't nothing going to change. Ain't nothing going to change. Why am I coming back? Why am I coming back? So yeah, something would have to change. Do you miss going live on the air every day? I mean, I like it because I like y'all. I like it because I like y'all. But I'm comfortable not. I keep saying this. I don't know how we keep getting back on this. I guess because y'all keep asking questions. People have questions and people want to know. I'm a behind the scenes person. Like, I would rather be back there with them. I'd rather be back there with them making all of this happen as opposed to, in front of the camera. I enjoy that more than I enjoy this. Although I do enjoy this. So do I miss it? I understand that it's gone. Would I be okay not doing it? Like, even if somebody said you're not allowed to even go live, you're not allowed to do a live stream. I would be like, oh, that's terrible because I miss the people. But I would be all right not doing it. I don't think you realize how much you were part of our everyday routine. It helps the work day go by. All right. Oh, most of us like you too. Most, yes. There's a few that definitely don't. Is that Dave Stinger back there? Dave Stinger is not on my staff. He is not on my staff. Vanessa, I'm gonna call you Vanessa. I promise. I know I said I was, but I made a call and I that call lasted longer than I thought that it would, but it was a cool call. Like, it was a good conversation. But it lasted longer than I thought that it would. But I'm gonna call you and Scott. I'm gonna call Scott first, but I'm gonna call y'all and we can talk. Um Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wow, that was a very good scenario. Things would have to change to go back. I feel you. Yeah, yeah. What did you do to Dave? Didn't do anything to Dave. Dave is somewhere chilling. He's somewhere chilling. I'm gonna call him today too. Uh, you fired Dave Stinger. I did not fire Dave Stinger. He just didn't come on board. He just didn't come on board. Um, if Dave Stinger want to hook up, I got to hook up for Dave Stinger. Dave Stinger stood with me. He left in solidarity with me, and I will always have love for Dave Stinger. And anything Dave Stinger need, if I got it, Dave Stinger got it. Just period. Just period. If I got it, Dave Stinger got it. And I mean that across the board. If I got it, Dave Stinger, if you watching, you got it. All right. Did the powers that be really force you to start going on air while you were at the buzz? Yes. Yes. I had no desire to be an on air personality in that way, but they made some changes. And yeah, that was what was said to me. If you want to stay, if you want to stay here, you have to um, be on air. That was what was said. Hold on, let me move back just a little bit. So yeah, that was legit what was said to me. And I was all right with it in the sense that, it's what I had to do. Damn, you really is crazy. You won't hire your alter ego. I don't know what you're talking about. Some of y'all just be saying stuff. Can they tell you that you can't go live? No, I was just saying, if, for example, they did. If something happened and they decided to say, hey, Facebook said you can't go live or something like that. That's what I meant by that. I, come up with all of these scenarios. No, I still haven't called Scott. I'm calling Scott today. I'm calling Scott today. Um, Cinnamon Fist. So it's good to see you. Good to see you too. No, Dave Stinger wasn't. I believe. I'm not sure if he was or was not vaccinated. So I know they wasn't sweating Dave Stinger. So that I know. Can you record your call with Dave Stinger? No, I didn't record my call with. I'm not gonna record my call with anybody. That's not what I do. I'm gonna see if I can get Dave Stinger to come over. I am. I'm gonna see if I can get Dave Stinger to come over. Oh, I don't. I don't know why y'all think that. Some of these misconceptions out here are just crazy. Uh, what scripture did you give them to validate your unwillingness to get vaccinated? None of your business. It's that simple. None of your business. why? Why would I share that with you? Why would I share that with you? There's no reason for me to share that with you. He'd be like Shelly when she did her so-called son voice that one day. I believe that was her son. I did not get a scripture from Elijah. He is you. He who? Who? So corporate didn't believe your scripture that you gave him. That's hilarious. Okay, it was a lot wrong with that statement, but I think I know what you mean. But doesn't that now think about this? Think about this because I want to talk a little bit about the coronavirus, and this does kind of lead me into it. Think about this. When you say they didn't believe the, hold on, let me put back up here what you said. See if I can find it again. Hold on, go here. So corporate didn't believe your scripture. Now think about that. Think about what you're saying. If I tell you this is my belief, and I give you scripture to back it up, who are you to tell me what are you saying that scripture doesn't exist? But I gave it to you. You can look it up. What are you saying? That scripture doesn't mean that? But if it means that to me, and that's all that matters, you don't get to dictate what I believe or how I believe the scripture. You don't get that right. So, what you're saying, either the scripture doesn't exist or that scripture don't mean that. And there are different people who look at it. There are different people in the same church. There are arguments that happen. And I've heard of churches that split because one group of people in the church interprets the scripture to mean this, and another group of people in the church interprets that same scripture to mean that. So, who is any corporate entity to interpret the Bible for me? You out of line if that's what you're trying to do. You are out of line because that's not your role. Say, well, but you don't really believe that. Who are you to determine what I believe? Who are you to determine whether or not I believe what I say I believe? If I say, this is what the word of God says, this is what it means to me, and this is how I act on it, who is any corporate entity to look at me and say, no, it's not? Or you're wrong. That scripture doesn't mean that. Or, well, the other people who share your religion, they don't agree with you. So, yeah, no, I don't, whether they did or didn't, they don't have that authority. They don't have the authority to tell me what the word of God means to me, how to interpret it, how to live it, and whether or not I believe it. So I stood on that then. I stand on that now. And I will stand on that until. No, I'm not sharing it because it ain't none of your business. I actually did share it earlier. You should have been here when it happened. But yeah, no, I don't have to prove it to you because I just don't. Um, but I'm looking at that. Would you bake a cake for a gay couple? Probably not. I probably wouldn't. Um, but I probably wouldn't bake a cake for a straight couple either. So, you know. Speaking of that, not the cake, the gay couple and the thing. I see y'all just keep saying stuff and then I had to bring stuff up. So first let me talk about the coronavirus, or at least the vaccine mandates and stuff. A lot of that stuff is going away. And I think what they are doing to Kyrie Irving is wrong. They should let that man play basketball. Now, look, I wasn't necessarily saying this when the vaccine mandate was in effect. and all of these other things were in effect. But they're going to roll that stuff back. So here's the deal. He will be now allowed to be able to be in the building on the sideline. So why can't he play? If you can come in, you can sit on the sideline with the rest of your team. He could suit up if he wanted to. He just can't actually get in the game and hoist up shots. That doesn't make sense. I get there's some nuance in the mandate and the way they're rolling things back, but again, if he can be there, he can sit with the team on the bench. But so theoretically, he could put on his uniform. There's no law or rule against him putting on his uniform. He just can't actually get out on the court and play. He can stand there, he can jump around, he can holler, he can scream, but he can't get on the court and play. That makes no sense. It kind of made sense when they said you can't be in the building because you just can't. You can't be in the building. I was like, all right, he can't be in the building. He can't be in the building. That made sense. If you can't be in the building, you can't play. That makes sense. Oh, well, now you can come in the building and you can sit on the bench, but you can't play. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. If he can be in the building, on the bench, with his team, let that man play. Let that man play. So that was what I had to say about that. With regard to baking the cake, I'm not really talking about baking the cake because I probably wouldn't bake the cake. And they probably wouldn't want a cake that I baked. But with regard to the gay thing, it's frustrating me. All of this, and I really do now feel like, and I hate using this term when I'm talking about, the gay thing, because it has multiple meanings. I don't mean it the sexual way. But they are really forcing this down our throats now. They are really forcing this down our throats now. I'm watching that Verbal ad. There's a Verbal ad. I'm sure y'all done seen it, where they pulling up. It's a black family, and they pull up to this spot, nice spot, and the little heavyweight boy got a little attitude, and so I guess this uncle, father, whatever, somebody said, "Oh, come on again," and they're all in there, and they show all these different people doing all these different things. Why do we have to see the two gay girls almost kiss? Why? They didn't show a husband and a wife kiss. They didn't show a boyfriend or a girlfriend kiss. You don't know if anybody in that ad is straight or gay. Well, yeah, you do, because we don't know who's the husband and who's the wife. I know there's a scene in there where a woman got a baby and there's a man there. A woman got a baby and there's a man sitting somewhere or something. In my mind, I don't know in as much detail. But he never says, "Hey, wifey." That might be her brother watching her lift up a baby. We don't know anybody's sexual orientation in this entire thing. So some of my detractors on this topic would say, "Hey, they show straight people kissing all the time. Not in this commercial." And clearly this is a family. So there's more than likely a couple in here somewhere. They could have showed them kissing. Why didn't it? Because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. We don't know who the husband is. We don't know who the wife is. We don't know who's straight. We don't know who's gay. We don't know any of that stuff until that black girl and that I don't in my head, I know she's a lighter skin, but she's not a white person. So but the two girls, and then the thing come in, and they come on, and then the thing pans past them, so we don't actually see them kiss, but we know they about to kiss. Why do I need to see that? Why do I need to see that? It didn't matter if there were gay people there. If you gay, you could just assume everybody in the commercial was gay. So I'm represented. Well, how do you know you represented? I think that guy's gay. Just fine. I'm represented. How you represented? I think that dude is straight. I don't need to see all of this chaosity. I really don't. And they keep showing a commercial. Uh, Daryl says he hasn't seen the commercial. Okay. Well, a lot of people, I've seen it, I don't know how many times. And every time I see it, I'm like, why? Why? Is that a real word? Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, but yeah, I don't want to see it. I don't mind it existing, but I wouldn't have wanted to see, because now the gay people, why you don't want to see it? Why are they not allowed? Why are we not allowed to love who we love? You can love whoever you love. I don't need to see your love. Just like I didn't see no man kiss his wife or no boyfriend kiss his girlfriend. I didn't need to see no girlfriend kiss her girlfriend or know that it was about to happen. I did not need to see it. Did you just make up a word? Uh, Somebody said all words are made up. So, yeah. Miss Lucky Charm, good afternoon. Good to see you too. Good to see you too. Um, oh, Facebook gonna kick you off. That's a sensitive subject. I hope they don't kick me off. Fantastic background. Yeah, I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio, and we do what we do. Is that a picture of? No, this is a picture. I don't. I keep telling you, this is who's the black dude from Peanuts? I can't ever remember his name. The black dude from Peanuts. I keep wanting to say Tyler. That boy name ain't no damn Tyler. What's the black boy from Peanuts? But anyway, this is him. This is him. Oh, no, let me. Yeah, Franklin. I don't know why I wanted to say Tyler. That boy name is not Tyler. Yeah, no, this is a t-shirt that I made. Um, wow, a while ago. Actually, when I think about it, probably a year or two ago. Well, it had to be more than a year ago, probably 2 years ago. Titus. Pretty sure it's not Titus. It's not Roscoe. It is not Cleveland. It is Franklin. That is his name, Franklin. Oh, it's definitely an agenda being pushed. So you were dropped off Facebook for talking about Medea. I was enjoying Bel Air until they came up with a gay person. And it's not even like, ooh, I hate gay people, because I don't. I don't care about gay people being gay. It don't hurt me none. It don't hurt me even a little bit. But if your only way of telling me that this person is gay is for me to see them doing something gay, then yeah, no, we got problems. You can't run from these commercials. It's in cartoons now as well. Why in cartoons? Why? There's a bit of normalizing going on. Which I guess I understand. Like if I was gay, I would want people to be like, "Hey, ain't nothing wrong with being gay." Cuz I'll be like, "I'm gay. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay." That's what that's where I would be with it. So I understand, but just be gay. Like you don't have to do something to show me. I guess that's my problem. Nobody in the commercial, if you're doing a show and everybody needs to, you know, do whatever to express that that's who they are, then okay, I guess it becomes appropriate. I guess. But if everybody just living like just normal living, and then out of nowhere, two men start kissing, why do I want to see that? Why? Well, they're gay. And that's what I'm saying. When I used to talk about this kind of semi regularly, and some of my gay listeners would call in, and I used to try to explain to them, I'm actually advocating for y'all because y'all keep talking about being gay. It's not all about sex and all of that kind of stuff. Then why are the TV shows and commercials and apparently cartoons making it about sex? Like again, you should be able to just be gay. Just be like if you didn't see color, which a lot of people claim, which is always a lie. But if you didn't see color and you just put me in the role, I don't have to do no over the top stuff. Like, ain't that what we dealt with? If I recall hearing people talk about the 70s and some of the movies and stuff, like, oh, you're not black enough. Like, no, I'm black. Oh no, you don't talk black enough. Talk blacker. Why do I need to talk blacker? This is how I talk. Well, black people don't talk like that. Apparently they do because I'm black and this is how I talk. It's offensive to tell people to be more of what society expects out of a black person. We expect you to walk like this. I don't know that nobody expects you to walk like this, but if I did, they would be like, "Oh, he's black. Yeah, he walking. Yeah, that's how black people walk. Oh yeah. Yeah." Why do I have to do that to be black? And if somebody was advocating on my behalf, on our behalf, saying, "Hey, why do the black people in these movies or TV shows always walk like that? Why do the black people in these TV shows always talk like that? Why the black person always got to be a drug dealer? Why the black person always got to be, a ex-con or a felon? Why the black person? I would be like, thank you. Thank you, because that's what I've been saying. Why they always got to do that? Now, it just so happens I walk on the screen, you can see me. And so even for those who say they don't see color, they know I'm black. Just you see me, I'm black. Well, gay people don't have that. Just because I walk on the screen doesn't mean you know that I'm gay. So you want to be stereotyped? You want the gay person to always be super effeminate? Like I was telling y'all about the commercial with the dude making the sandwich. And I'm like, who make a sandwich like that? Why are you looking like that? Pick up the knife and put it on the put the peanut butter on the bread. Just do that. You know, you ain't got to do all of that. Don't nobody do that when they make a sandwich. Oh, he's gay. That's offensive. That's offensive. Well, he gotta do that. Oh, he's gay. That's offensive. Or at least if I were gay, that would be offensive to me. Just let the dude be there. And then through, you know, the story, eventually we find out in some way, shape, or form that he's gay. He says, no, my husband, whatever, whatever. And then you like, he's gay. And then if you gay, you can be like, that's my favorite character. He is my favorite character. Okay, cool. I think I just did it too. Um, my bad. I didn't mean to do it. But I'm saying you don't have to do all of that to tell me that a character is gay. And I'm getting kind of tired of seeing it. Just let them be. Just let them be. Just let them be. Let me see. Other than that, I think that was pretty much about it. That was pretty much about it. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Um, I'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. I'll probably be in the studio again. Probably. I can't say with 100% certainty. You never know. I might go somewhere else. Do the show. I take the show on the road from time to time. So I might go somewhere else. Uh, that looked the same as when Bill Cosby had just slipped a quaalude into his latest victim. You're not taking us to 5. I am not taking us to 5. The little baby, the little baby ain't been over this week, but it's only Monday. I mean, no, it's Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Little baby was over last week. And it was uneventful. Oh, no, that's not true. That little baby, my wife, Mrs. Livingston, has a light bright. A light bright. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had never actually seen one of these things in person. I'd seen the commercial for Light Bright, and I seen them in the store, but I'd never actually seen one in person, so I didn't know how it worked. And I didn't know how it worked. So the little baby came over, and she was, being a little baby. She's 4, so she was being 4, talking like she talks loud. I keep trying to get her to not talk so loud. I don't know why she talks so loud. But she was being loud and she was running around and she was, being 4. Being 4. And so Mrs. Livingston, I think she sat with her. I think they like cooked something, but she was still being loud, running around. And then she wanted to, because she always takes my phone. Because she watches cartoons and all of that stuff on the phone. But Mrs. Livingston made up her mind. We're not doing no electronics. We're not doing no TV. We will listen to music and we will play games. And of course, I'm sitting there thinking, I can't watch TV. What is going on? Why I got to suffer because she loud. But it was cool. It was cool. So she pulled out this light bright and start playing Moni in the Middle. The only part that little baby picked up was the middle. And initially I was saying, That's not in the song. It's Moni in the middle. Where she at? In the middle. Moni in the middle. In the middle. Mo, what is Moni in the middle? I was like, there is no the middle, the middle. It don't exist. But then Mrs. Livingston played the song again. And okay, there is a point in the song where she says that. And so all night, while she's putting these pegs in this light bright, all night, the little baby just kept looking at me. I think she was trying to rub it in because I was wrong. Because, I'm never really wrong. So I think she was trying to rub it in because I was wrong. So she would be putting the little light bright pegs in. And then she would look at me and the middle, the middle. And then she would look at her and smile at her and then go back to the. So I think she was picking with me. But I was like, ain't no way in the world I would have played with light bright as a kid because it was a great plan. And the little baby enjoyed it. Like, apparently on the light bright, because I wasn't doing the light bright. The little baby was doing the light bright and Mrs. Livingston was helping. But apparently it shows you what color to put in what hole. And so she would be like, give me all of the red. I need red. Or she would be loud, I need the red. And then she was collecting them all up and she would be like, here's all of the reds. And she would put them all in. And she would put them in. And it felt like hours. She did 2 of the little light bright things. One said lemonade and one, I don't remember what the other one said. It was like lemonade 10 cent or something like that. And it took hours to do. And she was thoroughly entertained. My only gripe was that I wasn't allowed to watch TV. That was my only gripe. I got to suffer because this little baby talked loud. But no, I've never played with light bright. And then she would turn off all the lights and then plug it in and it would light up and and she would be her eyes would get big and she would be grinning and looking around, looking at both of us to make sure we see it. I see it. That lemonade. Yeah, I know the L is red. I know. Yeah, that's yellow. It's yellow. I can see. And she got to point out all of the colors and all of the names. But this is what I kind of did like this. She counted them all. And when I say she counted them all, like, of course, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember the numbers. So the L had 23 in it. And then the E had 27 in it, or, whatever the actual number was. Then when it was all done, she had to go through and count them all. And then it had 537 in it. And I'm like, in my head, of course, I'm thinking, why do I care? I don't care how many pegs is in that damn light bright. But, she's excited about it. So I have to be excited about it. 23? Wow. And you put in all 23 one at a time. I put them all in one at a time. Okay. But 27? Wow. And you put them all in one. I put them all in one. Oh, I had to do this for every time she counted them. And then when she counted them all, 572? Wow. You put in 572. And she was proud of herself. So, I had to let her be proud of herself and be proud of her. But the whole time I really was thinking, Snowfall. You know what I'm saying? Snowfall is on. Can we just watch Snowfall? Give her the phone. She'll be watching Marvelous or whatever that is. Wonderful, whatever that show is. She'll be watching that. And we'll be watching Snowfall. But that ain't what happened. So it was cool. She enjoyed herself. So I think Mrs. Livingston got some more games for her the next time she comes over. Um, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not playing with the light bright, but I don't know that I'm gonna like Snowfall this season. I don't. It's something about it that ain't. I don't know that I'm gonna love Snowfall this season. I don't know that I'm gonna love it, but we'll see. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Snowfall because that little baby with her little out self. But I love it when she come over. I love hanging out with the little baby. All right. I think that's about it. I think I got to get out of here. Daryl says, I've not seen Snowfall either. I mean, I watched it finally. I watched it the other day. Oh, let me tell y'all. I was I told you I was working on this project. This is another reason why I couldn't do the show yesterday. I was working on this project. So once I got off of here on Thursday, I got over there. I got to working on the project, editing. It was about 1:30. Now finally I was like, I need to put it down. I said it's due Sunday by 7. So I need to put it down, get some sleep. Got up early Friday morning. I don't know, 7 maybe. Came down into the office, into the editing suite, started editing. I was up all day Friday. I didn't go to sleep. When I say I up all day, I did not go to sleep from the time I woke up on Friday at 8. I was up through Saturday, like Friday night, turns into Saturday. Then Saturday I had a meeting at 6 o'clock. Then came home after the meeting Saturday at 6 o'clock, still hadn't got any sleep, was still not done. Had some finishing touches to do, finished it up Saturday. Then my computer kept crashing. Oh, it was the most frustrating thing because the project was done, like done, totally done. And when I went to render it, and if you're not familiar with if people who do video editing understands, when it render. So I went to render it. But actually I went to render it on Saturday, like right before I left for the meeting. I was like, I'm going to render and then that'll be done. So I started to render and then I left. I said, by the time I get home, it'll be good. Well, the meeting went very long. The meeting ended up, I didn't leave the meeting until 11 o'clock. But I thought it's cool because everything will be rendered and I can just send it. Got home and the computer had crashed. It said something about some files that weren't there. The media could not be found. I'm looking at the media. Like, how is this that the media can't be found when I'm looking at it? So I had to try to relink the media. I won't go through the whole thing. Eventually, I got the media to work. Actually, I had to reconvert some stuff and then replace the clips with some other clips that I had converted into a different format because somebody had given me those clips to put into the video. So after that, I'm like, okay, now let me render. It rendered, and understand that the rendering process is a long process. The video was like a 65-minute video. So with my computer, it's going to end up taking me about almost 2 hours to render. And I'm rendering it at 4K and all that kind of stuff. So that takes just a little longer. So I hit render again. It renders for like an hour and a half. I'm cool because the first time it apparently stopped rendering at like 7 minutes. And when I kept trying to do it, and then I figured it out. So about an hour and a half in, I look up and the program just completely crashes, shuts down. I'm like, oh no. So I do that again, thinking maybe something happened. I go to render again, about an hour and a half in, and I can't like go to sleep because it could crash at any time. So I gotta stay up to see if it's gonna render. About an hour and a half into a 2-hour render, it crashes again. I go back in, I look at everything. I say I'm gonna render it again. This time I'm gonna pay real close attention to what time on the timeline it crashes. Crashes at a particular spot. So I go to just before that spot. Again, an hour and a half in. I go to just before that spot and I start rendering from there because I said I need to see where it crashes. So I go to render and it pretends like it's going to render the last half hour, but then it crashes again, but this time in a slightly different spot. I don't know what to do. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at because I'm using the program that I'm using this time is DaVinci Resolve. I normally use Adobe Premiere Pro. I know that's not important. Bottom line is, eventually I figured out there was apparently one frame, and somebody said, "See, y'all, he talking about rendering." Who don't know what rendering is? I'll tell you what rendering is, just to make the story make sense. Okay, so you take all of these video clips, right? You got a program, and you take all of these video clips, you put them together in the way that you want them to run. And then you tell the video editing program, basically, now make this all one clip with all of the, you know, how like you fade from one shot to the next shot. You do this from one thing to the next. You've done all of that, everything in your timeline and exactly how you want it to be. He come in, it's a close up. He turns and he looks. You looking at him from this way. Now it's a two shot. You looking behind the person that he's looking at, and you know you've put all of the clips in exactly the way that you want them to. Any graphics, anything that you want, you've done it exactly the way you want it to. And now you're telling the computer, the program, now make this one clip, make this my movie. Okay. Well, when you making it your movie, when you make it your movie, you are rendering it. The computer then basically looks at every frame and writes that frame into a file so that you can take that. In my case, I was doing it as an MP4. So you can take that MP4, put it in, and watch it. You rendered it. But it's an intensive process on your computer, and it's slow because it has to look at everything. All right. So that's what rendering is. It's the final step. It's the final step. I was on the final step until I was supposed to be there at 10 at the church at 10. I didn't leave here until 10. And I did not get any sleep. I did not get any sleep. So I was up from Friday at 8 a.m. until Sunday night. Because, you know, after that, I had to go to church. And then I had to come home and I had to finish rendering it. Because once I figured it out, and the way I had to figure it out is anyway, it was one frame that was causing the problem. There was no way I was going to go through and find one frame. So I had to take out about 5 seconds of a particular clip of video. And then it went just fine. But so then I didn't get to end up going to sleep until Sunday, probably at about 10 o'clock. So I was up from Friday morning at 8 a.m. up all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday until like 9. So I virtually slept all day yesterday, but then I had to get up and go do something and then come home and go back to sleep. And then I woke up and I'm here now. I wasn't snappy but I had to, it was a concerted effort to not be. Because you know how it be. Oh, can we use this mic? Oh, it's this. Oh, do you need us to do a sound check? Oh, do you need that? And in my head, I, 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 I was like, I wanted to say, how many MF years have we been doing this S? And y'all MFs don't know how to effing do. I wanted to go off, but I kept saying to myself, it ain't their fault. You sleepy, bruh. It ain't their fault. You sleepy. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not saying anything wrong. You just sleepy. Don't take it out on them. So I had to keep reminding myself. Even people saying, "Oh, good job." In my head, I was thinking, I don't give a F if you think it's a good MF job. Don't tell me good job in but it ain't their fault. They trying to give you a compliment and you sleepy. So no matter what happens, you gonna be annoyed. Just don't take it out on nobody. So I didn't actually end up taking it out on anyone. So I didn't snap on nobody. I didn't, none of that kind of stuff. I was real good, but I was real sleepy. I was real sleepy. Y'all just don't know. I was real irritated. Irritable is not even necessarily the word that I would use. It's not even necessarily the word that I would use, but I was irritable to the nth degree. Even I, I'm sitting there like, why am I locking the door? Why am I locking the door? Why can't somebody else lock the door? You know what I'm saying? That's just everything. But I'm better now. I got some sleep. I am still a little sleepy. But I'll catch up on it. I'll catch up on it. Hold on, did I put that up? But okay, y'all. I really do have to go now because people keep telling me that I say I'm gonna go, but then I don't go. It was a little bit of restraint and growth. And because I knew, Janice, that I wasn't finished. Like I was at church and I was irritated. But I knew that when I came home, I still had to sit here and render this thing. And then I had to upload it and then make sure it was loaded and ready to go when it was time for it to go. So I knew that it was a whole lot that I still had to do. So I was just trying to keep myself good. um, I'm not going to bed right now. I've been all right. Why is this? Wait, I have a question. Do you actually have a question, or are you just saying you have a question to be funny? If you have a question, what's the question? But you got like 30 seconds to get me the question, because then I gotta go. I really do. I have to go. I have some other stuff that I have to do. Actually, I think I gotta go pick up a drone today. I think I got to pick up a drone today because I believe tomorrow I'm supposed to go shoot some footage with a drone, which I'm not all that proficient at. I'm not all that I have a drone, but my drone don't shoot in 4K. And so they want some 4K footage of a drone. So I gotta get this drone, which I think I'm picking up today, and then I'm shooting the footage tomorrow. And depending on what time they want to shoot the footage, like if they like, all right, we'll be ready to shoot this footage at 1 o'clock. I'll try to convince them, can we do it earlier or can we do it after 3? But if they say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I probably won't be on tomorrow. But I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know. about the black lady on the plane? What seat was it again? The black lady on the plane was removed from her seat, I believe, row 15 by the window, and she was removed to row, I think it was 34 in the aisle, which is the last row of the plane. She had to move to the back of the plane, like Rosa Parks or something like that. But she don't think that it was a racial thing. All right. I got to go. Uh, Mr. Wyatt being the funny man. I appreciate all y'all for hanging out with me. Just for still rocking with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of the support from everybody, from the people at the station who's contacted me, from the people watching who's contacted me, from the people that none of y'all will ever hear about. I appreciate it. And again, y'all don't know how much I appreciate it, but I really do. I got to get out of here. Until next time, it's been the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.